nor the Greek. So clearly, there's a bunch of people here that don't have the Quran, and they're going to heaven. They're guided.
But they are also required to believe what was sent down, which is the Quran, right?
How? So if you're in America prior to Christopher Columbus, how are you supposed to believe in the Quran?
Jesus. I mean, again, trying to understand, like, is God not doing the guiding, or is he not doing the
Yeah,
guiding?
and I'm telling you, the Quran is not necessary for guidance.
Okay,
You seem to,
well,
yeah.
believe it believe that it is absolutely necessary for guidance because God says in Surah 2, when guidance comes to you from me, whoever follows my guidance will have nothing
Okay,
to
so
fear, right?
okay, so
And then also,
did Jesus have a Quran?
he had the book that he was given, and God says that it was guidance and light for the
Okay, so
people.
you're saying no one from the American pre-Columbus could be guided. Could none of them have had a scripture or the Quran? Is that what you're saying?
Does that matter? We are living in
Yeah, it
2026,
matters. Yeah, because
but
God tells.
their test is done.
Yeah, so
And God,
no, it's not done. No, that's not
hold,
true. Everyone is
hold
born
on.
with the natural instinct to worship God alone.
God also says that you are not responsible for what they did. They are not responsible for
Yeah,
what
well,
you did, right?
I'm not talking about being responsible for each other's activities. I'm saying that to
But why
say,
about what happened to the people of the past? It
yeah,
isn't for me to
it's not,
judge.
no, even right now, there's uncontacted tribes. I'm telling you, there's like a billion
You.
people in China. There's a billion people in China that don't even have access to the Quran. There's no translation for them. What are they supposed to do according to you?
What do you mean? I
There's a
don't understand.
billion.
That
Yeah, yeah,
there
yeah.
is
There's a
so
billion.
many
There's a
Quran
billion. Yeah, I'm telling
behind
you, there's a
there
billion
is,
people in China that don't have access to any Quran. What are
but
they supposed to do?
they have Jummah. They hold
Who has
sermons.
Jummah?
China,
No,
China,
there's a
you have
not in
Heavily
Beijing.
restricted.
Yeah, not in,
what I'm
yeah. Yeah, in Western
what I
China, there's a small population of like Muslims, but are heavily restricted. I'm talking about mainstream Chinese, like a billion people, not some,
again.
isolated region.
I think North Korea would probably be a better example. So everybody in
Okay,
North Korea is going to hell.
But
that's
once
actually a really
again,
good example. Yeah, there's no mosques in North Korea.
but who's controlling the guidance? Who's the one that guides to
Yeah,
God?
but you
God.
you made a claim. You're saying that without the Quran, it's not possible to be guided. That goes against the Quran. That's blasphemy. What you just said.
Oh,
There's
right.
no verse in the Quran that says that unless you have the Quran, you're automatically not guided.
So what are we told to uphold then? The Quran,
God
right?
alone, worship God alone.
But we are also told to uphold the Quran, right?
If you have access to it, but if you don't, that doesn't mean you can't get guidance.
But that's God's business. That ain't my business. That's what I'm trying to say.
What
It's
do you
like
mean? We're not talking about
I
business here.
concern myself with
The
something that they
discussion is
don't
not
have
about
to.
the discussion is not about
Yeah,
business. We're not debating about whose business it is. We're discussing God's system. We're trying to identify the system. And we're saying that to claim that without the Quran you cannot be guided is blasphemy. And you've said it multiple
okay,
times now.
okay, listen. If that's what you believe, I respect that.
No, I'm
That
not
doesn't
LGBT. No, I'm not
doesn't
transgender. I'm not transgender. No, I don't accept that theory. Like this whole like LGBT rainbow. No, I don't accept that theory. It's not like agree to disagree situation. Like it's a
yeah,
dichotomy here. Either I'm right or you're right. There's no other way.
okay. But who is going to judge them?
Yeah, God already judged you in the Quran. But you're saying
Okay.
faith doesn't matter, everything's subjective, we shouldn't try to figure it out, agree to disagree. Then what are you doing counting Alephs for? You're like a
Oh, I
it's like a you're like a headless chicken, right?
okay. Oh, all right, cool. So you guys got nothing more to
How do
say
you
about the web,
how do
right?
I got
I'm
plenty to
just
say. How do you do Jummah?
to talk about that.
How do
Does
you do Jummah?
does this have to do with the website?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
No, it doesn't have to do with the website.
So you're scared to talk about anything else?
about the website.
Okay,
That's
so
it.
your religion is a website?
All of counts are to figure it out, or you're not. Because it sounds
Yeah,
like
I don't
you're
know.
not.
Do you accept Rashad's totals on the initials?
What?
Do you accept Rashad's totals on the initials?
Impossible to get them. I've been trying to do that for 2 years. It's
Here,
impossible.
I just put
Do
in
you have?
VC1 dash chat. I just
But
put
do
in
you have?
VC1 dash chat. I just put Rashad's
Do you?
totals. Here. Actually, let me
No,
go to
no, no,
Alephs specifically.
no,
Hold
no,
on.
no. I'm asking. Do you have each and every one of them marked? Like, can you show me
Personally,
the full
personally,
data?
no.
What?
I trust the messenger.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
in
That's
the
all.
it's in the chat. Go ahead.
I
No,
want to
this one.
see of the
No,
Alifs.
this one. I
I
just put
want
it
to
in the
see.
chat. I put it in the chat. I put it in the chat. Okay, so here's chapter 2, 3, 29, 30, 31, and 32. I put the grand totals for all of them. Do you accept the totals for these 6
I
chapters?
want to see the data set. That's what I
No,
want to see. I want to
yeah,
see the full
right,
data
but
set.
I need a yes or no answer. Do you accept the
No, I
totals for the
need the
messenger?
full data. No, no, no. I need the full data set because God tells me not to accept anything unless I verify it. So did you verify it?
I verified Rashad was a messenger. Did
I
you?
want to see all of the Alifs
How's
now
that gonna help
pulled
you?
up
You don't have a religion.
so I can verify it. That's why. Can
Verify
you
what?
verify? You guys haven't verified it. That's what I'm trying to say.
We
Like
have
if you
verified though. We verified that Rashad is the messenger from God, and we hear and we obey. And that's
data
the
set,
end.
that's what I want to see. Do you have the data set? Do you finally have
Yeah,
how
I'm gonna
it
put the
was
data set.
calculated?
Yeah, I'm gonna put the data set in VC1 dash chat. God willing. Here you go. Here's the data set that I need. Here's a data
Yeah,
set.
all right.
I put it in VC1 dash chat. There's the data set. There you go. I got another data set right here. There you go.
This is
There's
this
my
is
data
not
set.
this is
That's the
not a
data set.
data.
That's the data set
This
I
is a
need.
this
How did
is a
you?
summary.
How
What
did
the
you?
exact
How did you?
listen, bro,
This
listen,
is
listen, listen,
this is a
listen.
certificate of proof. How
I
did you
listen.
verify? How did you verify
The
Rashad is a messenger?
website is very transparent. Like you can see
You're
the
not
count.
answering my question. How did
No,
you verify Rashad is a messenger?
I want the data set. I want to be able
I
to
put it in the
see
chat. I put it in the chat.
this is not what I'm talking about. I want
Yeah,
to
but
see verse
you didn't answer my question.
I want
How
to
did
see
you
the verse.
how did you
Paul have
how
that.
did you
You have that data set. Yes or no?
how did you verify Rashad is a messenger?
I want to know, do you have the data set
Why are
where
you
I can
guys
single
Jack, he
verse
won't answer. Go ahead, Jack. You can talk to him.
prove
You're more
this?
soft spoken than me. Because he
What
doesn't
Oh
I
answer
want
any
no,
of my
I've
questions.
already told him before that I think he's a hypocrite and gonna burn in the lowest pit of hell. So,
Well, I mean, God
oh,
gave me all the signs. We don't need to wait
but
that
you
long.
still haven't answered my question. You still haven't produced the data set. You still haven't
I don't
given me
need
the
to.
results.
It's not
Been
necessary.
waiting.
yeah, it's right there. Certificate of proof that Rashad Khalifa is the messenger of God. There's your data set.
Exactly.
Let me get this right. So
You
Rashad
going?
used 1924 Cairo edition of the Quran, right?
Yeah.
Let's say he verified a different version to that, right? And he got exactly the number of alifs you're after.
Where is it? I want to see it.
No,
That's
no,
what I'm asking to see
this
it.
is a supposition, right? This is a situation. I'm asking so that you understand the point being made. Don't jump the gun. So let's say he
No, no,
counted a different mushaf. Pay attention,
bro.
please. Let me finish the sentence. Let's say he counts a different mushaf and it was exactly the right number of alif that you want, right? But then he says, this is the version and you can correct it. This is the most accepted, closest version, right? The Hafs edition, for example. Will you still accept him as a messenger? Oh, he deafened himself. What happened?
Oh, what do you mean? Would you? What do you mean? Would he still accept him as a messenger? He doesn't even accept him as a messenger right now.
That is correct. That's a true
Still
statement.
accept him. Still accept him as a messenger.
God forgive me for the error. Look, Nabi, this is another point, and it's useful, right? So let's say we know, for example, Jibreel, or obviously God, corrected the number of nun wal nun, right? Or certain
Yeah.
numbers that were automatically calibrated so that the right output came to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
So we
fine with that.
accept
I'm
the
fine
answer
with
is
that.
correct. That's my point.
Yeah.
So let's say
Yeah.
the mushaf that was presented was variant by 7 alifs. But Jibreel tweaked the numbers, or the outcome, so that it became the right number of alif in the sums, right?
Yeah.
Would he still
Yeah.
accept? I
Brother,
mean,
he
would he
doesn't.
accept?
No. No. He doesn't even accept Rashad as it is. He doesn't even accept the messenger at all. Th- He doesn't even care about building an ummah. He doesn't care about having a Jummah. He doesn't care about any of this. None of this matters to him.
But that's my
None of it
point,
is
right?
relevant.
So,
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't even care. Like we're telling him there's a group of people claiming to be believers that say it's okay to pray behind different gods. He's like, so what? He doesn't care. It has no value or significance to him. He's over here counting Alephs. What are you going to get out of counting Alephs? Oh, well, his main thing is that he's actually doing this to oppose Rashad. So it's even worse. He's not even doing it to support the messenger. He's doing it to prove the messenger is wrong. That's
that's
crazy.
true.
He's on a phone call. He's
But,
going to
but,
come back.
but this is the
I believe he's
bizarre
going to come
point.
back.
Yeah, this is the bizarre point. Let's say you get the perfect alif counts. Yeah, there's some Sunnis out there, or
Yeah.
even Quranists, who believe the miracle is true.
I said
But
that.
guess what?
I said that.
It's not Rashad.
Yeah, I said that. I said that. I said, let's just say you got a Sunni that believes in Code 19. Now what? What are you going to do with that? You're not going anywhere. Even if you convince someone to believe in Code 19, it gets nowhere. That's not sufficient. Yeah, Shabir Ali believes in Code 19, probably knows about it more than this guy does. He's deafened. I do believe he has a phone call, and I do believe he's going to come back momentarily. But the point is that, okay, what are you going to do with it? Think about it. This guy's devoted his entire life to counting Alifs. I would see him in front of the 7-Eleven, out in the sun. He would sit there, okay, 15 centimeters, his eyes 15 centimeters away from a physical book, Quran, and he's counting the initials. And he's done nothing for his religion. He's done nothing for his comprehension of the Quran. And you ask him, how do you know what Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is? He says, oh, well, that's what everyone told me. He has no religion, no ummah, no belief, nothing. But he's made this website and he wants us to support his website. He said, I came here to teach you about my website. Right? I've discovered this new
Well,
way.
here's the thing, right? So he custom engineered the text, right? So it's not to any known qira'at, any known mushaf. It's a custom constructed text that differs from the one that we have. 2,000 out of the 6,000 verses are different. This is nonsense.
So look, I'm fine with having different work than Rashad to get the same total as Rashad. I'm okay with that.
No, I understand. I understand. That's what we have in our website, brother. So our website, you know, finds the variance and uses the Hamza as accounts as well. His version is off by 456 alifs. This is no different to what some of the work that's been done in the past, where they say, oh, let's just use this copy, right? Let me trust this Sunni and say this version is legit, the Uthmani script, the modern or whichever version. And then let me just contort it so that I find a different total and say Rashad was wrong. Why not reject the Nun Wal Nun? Why not reject the Bastatan while you're at it? So they reject the count. Rashad present this as divine revelation. This is guided control metric 9899. His website count is 9443. So he's saying Rashad got first chapter wrong, off by 456. Third chapter, sorry, first chapter Al Baqarah. third chapter, 5662 is what Rashad presented. They presented 5396, off by 266. So basically, they this is bizarre. They reverse engineered the Arabic text to yield a different outcome. Like, why? Why would you reverse engineer and concoct a fabrication only to disprove him? When you try to do the reverse?
His only purpose is to discredit the messenger, dressing it up as an advocate for Code 19. But he's not. He's not an advocate for Code 19. Taking advantage of Code 19 to make it his own, but he has no benefit. And even what he's preaching is disobedience of the messenger. I'm willing to say Rashad's work doesn't have to be accurate, but the totals have to be accurate because those are divine revelation. And Rashad doubled down on that in his 1982 book. Rashad says it's a standardized totals and we accept it. That's it. Okay. So you're coming here and saying, no, Rashad's wrong. And you don't even accept him as a messenger or what? That's why you won't answer any questions about the practices or beliefs or meanings or anything. Ask him, how do you do Jummah? This guy rejects the age of 40. He rejects Satan as the Khalifa on earth. He rejects a large portion of Rashad's teachings. I don't know why he's clinging on to Code 19. Code 19 gets you nowhere if you reject the messenger. Well, I mean, it does. It'll take you to hell. The Quran says advance or regress, and he's regressing. He's
Yeah.
regressing.
So, back to what I was trying to ask for. Do you guys have every single verse for these Aleph counts?
Everything is
So
counted. Go to the website. You can do your counts yourself.
What
But
website?
I posted it
What
in
web?
VC1 that shit.
All right, let me take a look real quick.
Go ahead. But you haven't passed the mark, right? You're not even in the passing criteria. The idea of
Yeah,
Code
that's
19 is to prove the messenger.
Aleph.
If you're on the summary tab, click verify. Let me give you one of them.
I just want the web.
Here you go. This is the verification of Surah 2.
No, I want all 13 Aleph surahs.
It's all there. I can lead you to water, but you gotta want to drink.
Yeah.
Is this making sense, Jack? Like you verify, let's say just the Hamim or Surah Qaf, and you're convinced, right, that the miracle is real. You might not have the exact ink and paper or the exact version that God decided to preserve in the Lawh Mahfuz, but
Yeah,
you're
it's not
convinced that this is the
necessary.
messenger of God.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not necessary.
I never disbelieved that he was who he was. This isn't a matter of who he
Sorry?
was. Like,
What?
me and you both agreed that. I said, me and you both agreed that he was who he was. That's totally fine. Like, I have,
But
I have
how
nothing.
can we agree on that? Rashad says that if you die before the age of 40, you'll be saved. Do you agree?
Where's that in the Quran?
Ashuddahu arba'ina sanatan is in the Quran, 46:15, I think.
Okay,
What's
but
the point? What's the point of counting alifs if you don't know what any of the verses mean?
yeah, right. Um, again, where
No,
does it
you
say
asked the
that?
question, where is it in the Quran? I gave you the verse. I assume you don't know Arabic. What does arba'ina sanatan mean?
How do you know Arabic?
I used to speak Arabic, but I don't need to know Arabic. We're back to square one, which is I accept Rashad's teachings. I
So
don't
why
accept
did
your fake teaching. What does arba'ina sanatan mean? So hold on. Let's just establish some baseline. Rashad spoke fluent Arabic. He received divine revelation from Jibreel, the perfect understanding of the Quran. He explained to us this is what it means, right? So I just want to understand a baseline of your comprehension. If I'm to believe you, what does arba'ina sanatan mean? Go ahead. I'm confused. Did you answer?
No,
I didn't hear it.
I'm really not confused. I'm just not really talking to you because now
No,
this
I'm
has no.
confused by you. Rashad
Okay,
explained what arba'ina sanatan mean in the verse, right? You said, where is it in the Quran? I mentioned it verbatim. I then asked you specifically the meaning of that word, which you're struggling to do, right? Maybe you can count the number of alifs within that word, but what does it mean? You said, where is it in the Quran? I presented it. I even recited it
listen. So
verbatim.
ultimately, this is a matter of interpretation, right? So you uphold the interpretation of Rashad to be that of the Quran, right? Authorized, right? That's what you believe ultimately.
Yeah, so I'm asking your interpretation, right? So what is your
Right.
interpretation of arba'ina sanatan?
So listen, again, you uphold the teachings of Rashad as part of the Quran, right? Yes or no?
Well,
Of
God
course,
says
I
he's gonna.
accept.
God,
Yes
God
or no?
says he's gonna explain the. Yeah, I mean, he says he's gonna explain the Quran.
Okay,
519,
okay,
7519. How many 19s do you need? This is
okay,
ironic coming
okay.
from someone that counts the 19s.
Good, good. Okay, so you uphold a hadith other than the
No,
Quran. Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah,
no,
you do.
no, no.
So what
Is your
is the meaning of hadith?
Bro, a hadith is going and saying that you eat 7 dates in the morning and you'll be protected from black magic. It's not
So
based
hadith,
anywhere in the Quran or anything. Yeah, but Rashad's teachings and sayings are
beautiful?
uh,
explanations of the verses, right? So he's given us ta'wil of the verses. So he's given us
yeah,
explanation of what
okay,
the verse
uh,
means so that we can have a true understanding.
nice, nice. So listen, you can go with his explanation. I'm going to go with God's explanation.
But how is your
Who
explanation
decides
equivalent?
that?
How is
How do you decide that they're God's explanations?
how is your explanation equivalent to God's? I don't
How many
understand how you make
times,
that jump.
This is blasphemy.
how many times does he say in the Quran that he explains his revelation?
Yeah, through the
Him.
messenger. Yeah, through the messenger. We. Who's we?
Okay, fine.
7519
Okay,
says we explain. Who's we?
God.
75. God is. So you believe in a royal we?
Okay, all right. So listen, where's the show? I got some questions I want to ask.
Good.
Where's where is
Yes,
he?
70.
I'm
Where's who?
Yeah,
sorry.
but 519 says that I've sent you a messenger after a long period without messengers to explain things to you.
So
Yeah,
where
hold on.
is he?
Rashad is in heaven. Rashad is currently in heaven.
Oh, so he isn't here. So
Yeah,
he can't talk.
but yeah, but
So
it's
he can't
yeah, that's
explain
yeah,
now,
but
right?
his explanations are already
Okay.
here. Yeah, his explanations are already here.
Did he explain everything?
Everything that we needed. Yeah,
Oh, he did. Okay, well that's
yeah,
fine. That's good for
yeah.
you.
And you're going
That's
against
fine.
existing explanations. So can you explain to me how you do Jummah?
So listen, me and you are going to stand before God, and let's just wait until He judges, and we'll see
Yeah,
what He
I don't
thinks.
need. We don't need
Yeah,
to
and we
wait.
already know that in the end, you're gonna just burn in hell, the lowest
You're
pit of
gonna
hell at that.
you're gonna burn in hell forever, Jonathan. But I'm curious. How do you do Jummah? How do you do Jummah? You know, you don't accept Rashad's interpretation of the Quran, so I want to know yours. How do you perform Jummah, chapter 62?
Fine.
Yeah, how do you perform Jummah? And who taught you? How do you know what Bismillah means? How do you know what any word in the Quran means? What
Well,
translation of the Quran do you use?
I guess you need. I guess you need a shot.
Yeah, God says if you don't have a guiding teacher, then you're lost. Chapter 18, verse
Okay.
17.
All right. So
Right?
listen. Continue. Listen. Continue
Answer
to the
questions. No, don't give closing statements. Answer questions. 87,
statement.
1817. I was regime.
Go.
Whomever he sends astray, you will never find for him a guiding teacher. Who's your guiding teacher?
God.
Okay, what did God tell you about Jummah?
Don't we have the same book? You don't see what He
Yeah.
said. You need
No,
Well,
somebody
I
else to
mean,
tell you.
I have a question. I just want to ask real quick,
I just want
Jonathan.
to know, like,
No,
how
hold on.
does he explain these different things? But okay,
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
like he's saying God explains the Quran. Like, how is
That's
this making you any? Yeah, and we
what
agree with you, and God has tools in place to explain the Quran. Um,
do.
how do you differentiate yourself from all the other Quranists? You guys are reading the same book, and you all come into different interpretations and
I
understandings.
don't
How
call
is that a
myself a
unified
Quran.
religion?
Please stop calling me a Quranist. I don't call you a
You are a
Quranist. I don't.
Quranist.
What's the difference? Well, okay, help me understand. What's the difference between you and a Quranist?
I do not call you a disbeliever. I do not
That's
call
fine.
you
That's
one.
fine. Yeah,
You could
that's
call
fine.
us one if you wanted to. It doesn't make it
You're allowed
true.
to.
But
We're not going to punish you for calling us disbelievers, but I genuinely want to understand what's the difference
No,
between you and a level
no,
3.5 Quranist.
you really don't want to.
I do. I'm fine with it. What's the difference between you and a Quranist?
That's fine, bro. Listen, I gave you the
The
website.
question.
I'm going
Just
to
give
give
me
you
answer the
the
question. Why are you not
I'm
answering
going to
questions? Why are you running?
because you are
I'm
not
asking
God.
logical. That's fine. I'm asking
You
you a question. God says
are,
consult. We're consulting you. We're
you are
giving you a lot of
doing
respect. You're not giving any in exchange. What's the
what
difference?
respect?
Help us. Yeah, this time that you're able to talk, we're not shunning you like the other hypocrites do, right?
That's
The
what you're
group that
doing
you,
right
no, we're not. No, the group you represent on
now.
OHS, the original hypocrite
No,
server, they don't allow any of us to speak. They just time us
you're
out. Didn't you time out Jack and others?
still putting ladies. Still
You
doing. So
Well,
how is
I'm. Help me understand your theology.
it?
What's the difference between you and a Quranist?
Like I said, I'm going to look over this and I will
I'm
get
just
back
trying
to
to.
you.
I'm trying to. So you think it's sinful for me to try to understand your belief?
Evidence, I'm going to look.
What?
Please be
Yeah,
upon
you can't. Yeah, he's running away.
I don't understand why you're so obsessed with Alifs. Like,
He's
what's
gone.
that
He's
gonna
gone.
do?
He's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
Is Aleph his god?
Yes. Yes. Aleph is God. Yes. So
What
I
a
mean,
bizarre position. The whole point of Code 19 is to verify the messenger, and the whole point of the messenger is to have a rigid, scalable religion.
don't ever call him a submitter again, Mohammed Said. You said he's a submitter. Let me ask him, how do you do
I,
Jummah? He doesn't
I didn't
answer.
know. I didn't know Navid. Last time I had met him in the server itself, he claimed to be a submitter. That's why I asked
Yeah.
you.
Even now, he's claiming to be a submitter, but you ask him basic
Yeah,
questions, he won't answer, right? He
fine.
just will.
I have no problem, Navid. I'll not call him a submitter.